Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are unpacking one of the absolutely most fascinating rags to riches stories of our entire generation, the journey of Rizwan Sajan. We're talking about a guy who went from literally selling milk and stationery on the chaotic streets of Mumbai just for pocket money to standing as a billionaire titan running a massive empire over in Dubai. Now listen, we aren't just recounting a biography today. That's not what we do here. We are deconstructing his exact mindset and his street-tested strategies so you can master the actual mechanics behind this monumental success.
Okay, let's dive into this agenda. We'll start with the street seller's rise, explore the sheer power of credibility, and break down his 1% property revolution. Then, we'll analyze why people invest in Dubai, give you a real estate buying guide, and wrap up with his blueprint for the youth.
All right, part one, the street seller's rise. From Mumbai to the Middle East.
You know, it's honestly hard to imagine that the current chairman of Danube, a guy dealing in massive, sprawling real estate developments, started with such profound struggles. When you map out his early years, it's wild. At just 16, his father passes away, forcing him to instantly step up and support his family. By 18, he moves to Kuwait as a salesman, finally finding some stability right before the 1990 Gulf War breaks out. He literally has to flee for his life, leaving everything behind. By 1991, he lands in Dubai entirely jobless, armed with nothing but a 12th grade fail certificate and this unshakable belief that he could sell absolutely anything.
His undeniable hustle is captured perfectly right here. He says, "I am a guy who sat on the street. If I lost everything, I would go back to the street, set up a stall, and sell again." I mean, wow. Despite being a billionaire, the guy operates with complete street-level grounding. Even today, he's out there personally inspecting construction sites in the sweltering Saturday heat. He even builds fully furnished sample apartments right inside his corporate office. He's just obsessed with the customer experience, making sure buyers don't have to trudge through dusty construction zones.
Moving to Section 2, the power of credibility. The foundation of an empire.
So when Sajan decided to start his own building materials brokerage in Dubai, he had zero capital. Nothing. He was an immigrant starting entirely from scratch. Yet, he managed to secure $25,000 worth of materials. That was the exact value of his first consignment. And get this, his old suppliers from Kuwait sent it to him on zero credit. Why? Because they had worked with him before the war and they deeply, deeply trusted that he would never steal their money. This early victory proved a vital, absolutely crucial lesson. Credibility isn't just some nice character trait, it is literal wealth.
And this brilliantly illustrates a foundational philosophy passed down from his father. It all comes down to a really simple equation. If you promise a customer a 50% profit but only deliver 20%, they feel cheated. You lose them. But if you promise 10% and deliver 20%, you earn their trust for life. It's that simple. Never ever overpromise just for a quick sale. By fiercely protecting your name and operating with absolute honesty, you ensure that capital and opportunity will perpetually chase you.
All right, Section 3, the 1% property revolution. Disrupting the housing market.
As his materials company really started to flourish, Sajan noticed a massive gap in the market. Expats were basically trapped paying exorbitant rents because they couldn't afford the massive upfront down payments required for luxury villas. So, he introduces this wildly disruptive financial model, the 1% payment plan. Here's how it works. Buyers put down 20%, and then they pay just 1% a month. But the true genius here, the real game changer, is the post-handover structure. By requiring 70% before handover and 30% after, buyers can actually live in the unit or rent it out and use that rental income to effortlessly pay off the remaining balance.
18,000. That is how many apartments he successfully delivered using this payment plan. It completely revolutionized the market. Thanks to his long-standing credibility with banks, who fully trusted his cash flow management, he was able to pull this off. He practically turned a massive population of lifelong renters into proud homeowners, essentially overnight.
So the crucial point is Section 4, why invest in Dubai? Let's analyze the economic engine.
Now you might be wondering, is Dubai real estate just a massive bubble waiting to pop? Well, his economic analysis provides a fascinating counter-perspective. The secret to Dubai's zero-income tax ecosystem actually lies in a massive demographic imbalance. The resident population is pretty small, around 4 million people, but the city attracts a staggering 20 million tourists annually. This constant, massive influx of people staying in hotels, dining out, and paying indirect customs duties, that is the massive engine fueling the economy, far beyond what the resident base could ever support on its own.
And when you compare this economic engine to global real estate prices, the data is honestly surprising.
Despite Dubai's incredible infrastructure, the safety protocols, and that zero-tax environment we just talked about, it remains heavily undervalued. According to Sajan's data, real estate in Hong Kong is 5 times more expensive. London is 3 times as much. Even cities like Mumbai and New York command double the price of comparable properties in Dubai.
And then, of course, there's the ultimate magnet for global capital, the golden visa. By investing 2 million dirhams, which is roughly 4.5 crore Indian rupees, you secure a 10-year residency visa for your entire family. And the best part? No local business sponsor is required. It grants you total freedom for global mobility. It's really no wonder that 33% of his buyers are from India, heavily utilizing this exact mechanism for family security and unrestricted travel.
Which brings us to Section 5, the Real Estate Buying Guide, How to Avoid Costly Surprises.
Look, because we are talking about investments in the millions here, you absolutely cannot afford to be lazy with your due diligence. So here is his direct checklist to avoid a financial disaster. First, aggressively check the developer's actual delivery track record. Second, hunt for upcoming locations for the best appreciation rather than fully developed ones. Third, prioritize those post-handover payment plans to protect your own cash flow. And finally, never, ever blindly trust agents who are just chasing high commissions. Always verify your funds are going into a government escrow account.
Now, what's really interesting about this escrow system is that it's a crucial layer of structural protection provided by the Dubai government. When you buy a property, your money goes into this strictly regulated account. It does not go directly into the developer's pockets. The developer can only access those funds to pay the contractors who are actively building your specific project. Actually, it's only after the building is entirely completed and the contractors are fully paid that the developer takes their profit. It's a brilliant, built-in safeguard to stop developers from just running away with your life savings.
And finally, Section 6, Advice for the Youth, the Blueprint for Execution. Sajan shares this amazing blueprint for career execution based purely on his time in the trenches. He's fiercely adamant that no one gets rich overnight. Step 1. Work a job first. If you want to open a restaurant, don't just invest. Go be a waiter, then be a chef. Learn the ground floor. Step 2. Fail and learn. You are going to face crises. He survived wars and financial crashes. Let those moments force you to adapt. And Step 3. Execute fast. So many young people have these brilliant ideas, but they just freeze. You have to pull the trigger.
And if you are out there executing and trying to sell, here is his all-time greatest hack. Show the customer their profit, not your product. Amateurs pitch futures, right? Sajan's secret is negotiation through math. If you can sit down and mathematically prove exactly how your property will net a buyer a 15% return in a year, the property essentially sells itself. You have to obsess entirely over the customer's gain.
So you've just seen how a young man from Mumbai built a multi-billion-dollar empire. It wasn't magic, was it? It was street-smart salesmanship, leveraging a booming economy, and above all, fiercely protecting his trust. So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought. You might have the brilliant ideas, and you might have the drive, but are you executing them with the kind of unshakable credibility that makes capital chase you? Apply this masterclass to your own ambitions, and honestly, the sky is the limit. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.